Right now, 20 seconds to go before we get racing. And this is not going to be a very tight start for most of these boats because they're going in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we have a clean start. The 10 and the 1 are the two first boats across the line. The number 10 driven by Jonathan Abbott and Brandon Kennedy in the number 1, and Kennedy starts to move inside now because he's got plenty of room behind him to do that. So Kennedy comes all the way from the outside lane to move inside on Jonathan Abbott, and those two boats go side by side down the back straightaway, and the rest of the field way behind. And now Brandon Kennedy separates a little bit from Jonathan Abbott coming around turn 2, which is the turn 2 hour left. So Brandon Kennedy showing you why he's the national high points champion in the United States for this past year, with great boat speed out of that boat. And he's holding Jonathan Abbott very tight to lane 1. Abbott looking for clean water there. Now Brandon Kennedy has enough room that if he wants to, he can go over into lane 1 and shut that lane down on Jonathan Abbott. But Brandon Kennedy seems to be happy running out there in lane 2. Jonathan Abbott staying pinned in lane 1. That multicolored boat, that's the 26 driven by Kevin Smith. So he's currently running in third. It looked like a clean start from here. Then they're followed by the number 18, the red and white boat. The 18 is André Bergeron, and Leah Hoosick in the 27. That solid white boat is currently running in 5th. So the field spreads out around the race course. Now Brandon Kennedy moves in a little bit on those buoys, hugs that buoy line a little bit, saves himself a little bit of fuel as he goes around the race course in a shorter distance. And Jonathan Abbott, looking for clean water, moves outside into lane 2. Brandon Kennedy is your leader in the white number 1. Going through turn 1 now, and just behind him, almost the full turn behind him, is Jonathan Abbott in the blue and white number 10. The Flying Eagle is the name of that boat. Kevin Smith running in third place, comes across the line. Then it's the 18 of André Bergeron, the red and white. And Leah Hoosick moves out to about lane 5. That'll give Brandon Kennedy enough room, if he decides to lap her, to dive inside. And Brandon Kennedy now finishes lap 3. So the next time around, Brandon Kennedy will get the white flag. And he does a nice job of driving around those buoys, really staying in close, showing you the handling of that particular boat. Dropping back even further now is Jonathan Abbott, and you can hear something in that engine not quite running the way they want it to, not up to the kind of power that that boat normally will make. So Jonathan Abbott falling off even further behind Brandon Kennedy in the number 1. You can see that Brandon Kennedy, if you look out there across the race course, Brandon has lifted up a little bit, not pushing that boat nearly as hard, working to save the boat and the engine, save the equipment a little bit for the final, which will be coming up a little bit later on with these boats. But Brandon Kennedy comes across and gets the white flag. 1 lap to go for our defending national high points champion in that white number 1. Leah Hoosick in the 27 is actually a lap down behind the number 1. So Jonathan Abbott in the blue and white number 10 gets the white flag. Leah Hoosick actually is down a lap on Brandon Kennedy. But it's great to see that young lady out here, and a very nice person to talk to. If you get the chance to get into the pit area, stop over and say hi to Leah Hoosick, because she is a very nice young lady, very pleasant to talk to, and someone who will be more than happy to sign autographs for you or for the kids, or for you if you tell her it's for the kids. Leah Hoosick, just very nice. So Kevin Smith running in third, then it's André Bergeron running in fourth, and there's the checkered flag out for Brandon Kennedy in the number 1, and it's pretty clear from that heat why that boat gets to put the number 1 on the side, because he has been a very dominant driver in this class for the last few years. In fact, we saw him racing his very first season, and in his very first season he went out and won the Eastern Divisional Championships, and then later that season won the Summer Nationals in his rookie season. Those are two things that are almost unheard of in any kind of racing, for a rookie to have that kind of a season. And Brandon did that just 3 or 4 years ago, and now showing again why he deserves that number 1 on the side of the boat. So a great heat for Brandon Kennedy. The rest of the field has some work to do before the final, which will be coming up in a few minutes here in the 1.5 liter stock hydroplane class. Looks like André Bergeron will finish in 3rd, Kevin Smith in 4th, and Leah Hoosick will finish in 5th. Once again, those pit passes are available. You are able to get into the pit area and check out these boats up close, talk to the drivers, talk to the owners, talk to the crews. Those pit passes are available at the entrance area to the pits, and I believe there's a small fee for that, but it's well worth it. Give you the opportunity to get in, get some autographs, get your picture taken maybe with one of the race boats, because a lot of these drivers and owners are happy to let the fans walk right up to the boat, take pictures, even sometimes get into the driver's seat in the cockpit of these boats. So Leah Hoosick goes by the finish line, and we'll head into the pits.